Got a damn good book for you guys, written by this lady, Dorothy Allison. Check out the cover. The cover is, it's a pretty neat cover. If you look at it, the cover doesn't really tell you a whole lot about what it might be about, other than the fact that it might be in the South. But you can easily tell that because she wrote a book, Bastard Out of Carolina, which is in the South. So, but I want to read this passage from you guys, from Mrs. Allison's work of art here. 2 or 3 Things I Know for Sure is the title of this book. And I'm going to turn page 32 and I'm going to read. She gave me a very vivid description of her life as a female, her whole family's life as females, and I thought it was pretty interesting the way she described herself and her family. And I'm going to read it to you guys right now, starting on page 32. Let me tell you about what I have never been allowed to be: beautiful and female, sexed and sexual. I was born trash in a land where the people all believe themselves natural aristocrats. Ask any white Southerner. They'll take you back 2 generations and say, yeah, we had a plantation. The hell we did. I have no memories that can be bent so easily. I know where I come from, and it is not that part of the world. My family has a history of death and murder, grief and denial, rage and ugliness. The women of my family most of all. The women of my family were measured, man-like, sexless, bearers of babies, burdens, and contempt. So, and she goes on, my family. The women of my family were the ones in all those photos taking a mining disaster. We are the ones in all those photos taken at mining disasters, floods, fires. We're the ones in the background with our mouths open, in print dresses or drawstring pants, and collarless smocks, ugly and old and exhausted. Solid, stolid, wide-hipped baby machines. We're all wide-hipped and predestined. Wide-faced meant stupid. Wide hands marked workhorses with dull hair and tired eyes, thumbing through magazines full of women so different from us they could have been another species. So she's given a description of white women that is not it's a vivid description, but it's not a pretty description. I think it's a very humanistic description. It's probably the type of description that most of us probably fits into the frame of. You know, most of us are not attractive. Most of us are ugly. Most of us are not rich. Most of us don't come from wealth. And hell, a lot of us don't want to admit that. But it's to God awful truth. I think this woman is pretty descriptive in her writing. I think she's fairly talented. I like her description. I like the description that she's given us. And you guys should check out her book, 2 or 3 Things I Know for Sure. And her name is Dorothy Allison. I love reading these anecdotes from these books. You know, it gives you a really great picture of what people's lives really are like outside of news and media. If you look at the news and media all day, you'll have a very different opinion of what some of these people, you might think some of these people think of themselves. But if you read works like this, you could really read some really interesting takes on life. And I think that that's the important reason why we should all read more, pick up more books and read more, because I think the truth of it all, the descriptions of ourselves that some of us might not want to acknowledge, it lives in between these pages in these books. Well, that's all I want to share with you guys. Again, that's page 32 and 33. Dorothy Allison's 2 or 3 Things I Know for Sure. Peace.